Day 2 of the NSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament. Darren Wimberg here from Pinnacle Bank Arena, where Day 1 brought us a range of emotions, from heartache to fantastic games to near upsets. Could Day 2 live up to the billing? Let's begin with the Amherst Broncos taking on the Phillies of Sutton. Early on, it was the Phillies striking first as Isabella Trejo, 3-ball corner pocket. Sutton takes the early lead, but Amherst responds as Libby Mitchell putting in the work as she knocks home the runner. And if some is good, more is better. Mitchell spinning and winning as a lefty would finish with 9 points on the night. But here come the fighting Phils as Miranda Noose with the offensive rebound and the putback, getting 3 the old-fashioned way. Noose led all scorers with 17 points and 14 rebounds in a double-double as Sutton takes the lead heading into the break. Second half, Amherst trailing, but hanging on as Addie Simmons, the low block, hits the turnaround J to keep them within striking distance. But Sutton was connecting on all cylinders as they would pour it on in the second half and cruise to the 48-33 win. Coach, sound up.
So proud of this team. I mean, we just have a good combination of young girls and senior leaders, and they've all put in so much time. And you know, it didn't start coming this winter to practice. This team as a team shot over 200,000 shots this summer, and that's a testament to how hard they're willing to work. And it's been an absolute blast to coach these girls.
Staying in the vault, the morning game featured Arapahoe returning to state for the first time since 2014, taking on a wagon known as Bloomfield, who haven't been to state in nearly 50 years. First half, Arapahoe trailing big, but Emma Strand driving and hitting in tough lay-in to start the mini run for the Warriors. But the Queen Bees were certainly making up for lost time. Kennedy Melody hits the floater as she finished with 19 points and 10 assists. Sawyer Schaefer of Arapahoe knocks home the triple and would end her night with 19 points as Arapahoe was unable to mount a comeback as Madison Melody led all scorers with 24 points and 13 rebounds as Bloomfield remains undefeated and moves on with the 73-52 win. Let's head over to the Bob now for the gauntlet known as the C1 bracket. Malcolm, the 3 seed, taking on Holdridge, were squaring off for the second time in less than 2 weeks. Duster student section pumped for this one, and they'd be pumped for this as Emily Stutzman calls glass as the bank is open on this Friday afternoon. And check out Emily crashing the boards, kicks it to her sister Addie for 3, swish. But the Duster still trailed, and a big reason is that girl. Hallie Dolliver hits the sweet turnaround J to push the lead to 8. And then Dolliver once again driving, misses, but gets her own rebound and the hoop and the harm for the 3 the old-fashioned way for the 3-point play. Duster's hanging around as Emily Stutzman gets the hoop and the harm, but not pictured. Gracie Johnson, who led Holdridge with 19 points, but in the end it was too much Hallie and Peyton Dolliver as they combined for 48 points. Malcolm moves on with the 56-36 win. Let's stay at the Bob and go to the D1 matchup where 2-seeded Elm Creek Buffaloes are hoping to keep the Fort Kearney Conference alive, and they can with a win over 7-seeded Cross County. First half, both squads struggled to score mightily until Kendall Cavaney from the Capitol building buries a triple to give the Buffs the 1-point lead. And that would also lift the lid off the bucket as Ashlyn Hellriegel off the steal up ahead to Serenity Quintana, who lays it in for 2. Lady Buffs lead 14-11 at the break. Second half, Elm Creek came out on fire. Chelsea Kotick dominated the low block, getting the lay-in to go as they started out on an 8-0 run in the second half. Cross County trying to keep it close and stop the bleeding. Ella Clark drives in to make the layup, but it's a little too late as Elm Creek is moving on to the semifinals with the 47-21 win. Coach, sound up.
We're at the state tournament. Like, everybody's really good. Everything has to be earned. I think one of our biggest strengths is just how the girls are so grounded and they trust each other and know that they can get it done together. They weren't frazzled in that first half, and I'm really proud of that.
Honestly, my teammates are incredible. Every single one of them told me they believed in me. I knew it was going to be hard to adapt on a new court, and I just trusted the process, trusted the Lord, and it turned out good.
That's just a taste of what we've seen. Let's send things over to Randy Silver, who has more, including an epic comeback between Ogallala and Gothenburg. Randy, take it away, buddy.
Thanks, Darren. Day one in Devaney was electric. Why not? Almost won with the buzzer beater, still won in overtime. That type of atmosphere ratcheted up a notch for day two. These games still came down to the final possessions, no buzzer beaters. Let's show you the highlights. Here's your C1 bracket. I have the top half for you. The number 8 seed, Central City, who are 24-3, versus Milford, the top seed, who are 25-1. This matchup happened earlier in the year where Milford won by single digits. The Eagles working the ball around the arc. The skip pass to Adley Cineros drills the three. The only points of the game. Start of the second. The 6'4 multi-sport athlete who's Nebraska volleyball target, Shayla Rodenberg, down low. She led Milford to a volleyball title earlier in the year, looking for basketball now. She said post-game she's comfortable playing at Devaney, maybe a sign of things to come for Husker volleyball fans. The Eagles are looking to avenge their loss in the C1 title game last year. A 17-14 halftime lead helps towards that goal. We take you to the fourth. Peyton Burback with a big three cuts the lead to 4. A couple of possessions later, Rodenberg showing her all-around game, facilitating to Abby Crabtree, who drains it. Eagles take a 37-32 lead with 2:50 to go. Rodenberg had a game-high outrageous 18 rebounds. The Bisons down 3 with under 10 seconds. Chance to tie. Can they? They can't. Shot falls short. Upset alert coming to an end. Top seed Milford wins 37-34 to advance to the C1 semifinals, while Central City's season comes to an end.
Headed to the semifinals!
Who will the Eagles play on Friday? Number 4 seed Ogallala Indians, who are 21-4, versus number 5 seed Gothenburg Swedes, who are also 21-4. The first game was a tight defensive affair. This was the opposite. Baskets galore all throughout the game. When this is the third time you played in the last 23 days, hard to have any surprises. The team split their first 2 meetings. The difference in this game, especially in the first half, Ogallala's 8 threes helped them take a 40-28 lead in the break. Coach Tim Strauser told his Swedes to chip away at it in the second half. Gothenburg is seeking a second consecutive state semifinal appearance. That experience, as well as Nebraska Wesleyan's commit, senior Hazli Tamala, showed out in the second half. Tamala went beast mode for 24 points alone in the second half with pure domination in the low post. 32 points, 12 rebounds in the game. The Swedes did more than just chip away at the halftime deficit of 12. They go on to win by 7, 70-63, making their second consecutive state final appearance. Who will they face? Milford on Friday.
It's exciting. You know, this is our 4th time down here in 5 years, and we've played a conference opponent 3 of those 4 years, so it's kind of been a theme for us, but just very proud of the girls. That if we rebound, if we communicate, play as a team, we'd come out on top.
We knew we had to make a comeback. That's not our team out there. We knew we could do it. We just got to keep our heads up at half, and that's what we did. And we went out there and chipped away and came away with the win.
Final C1 bracket, as Darren showed you, Malcolm beat Holridge, and Fort Calhoun took down the 2-time reigning defending champions Lincoln Christian in overtime. Moving to Class D1, here's the bracket. Darren already shared the other side, who will face Elm Creek. Let's take you to number 3 Maywood Hayes Center, coming in with a 23-3 record versus number 6 Howells Dodge Jaguars, who are 19-7. The Jaguars played the bulk of their schedule against C1 or C2 opponents, while defeating the 5 D1 teams they played by an average of 25 points per game. Even though they're lower seed, that experience showed itself quick, with Mayhay needing to call Mayday after the first quarter down 17-5. The Jags' Bryn Throner was on fire in the first half, going 5-9 from the field with 12 points. However, they were down 28-14 at halftime. From there, the 6th seed Howells Dodge sustained their lead in the second half to advance to the D1 semifinals to face Elm Creek.
The Jags are headed to the semifinals!
Next up, Friday's action, semifinals. And then, of course, on Saturday, we have the state championships. Reporting from Devaney Center in Lincoln, I'm Randy Silver.